Have you ever felt like you don't belong in a place? Left out? Like you don't have a voice to speak your own opinion? This is called discrimination, the unfair or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people or things, specifically on the grounds of race, sex, and age. Such a broad topic that is still a big issue in this generation. Good afternoon, my name is Kaylee John, and today I'll be talking about a problem that is not as well recognized today in this society: discrimination. The famous book written by Mark Zuzak is a great example showing how discrimination was portrayed in Germany during World War I and II. This quote, "You could argue that Liesl Memminger had it easy. She did have it easy compared to Max Vandenberg. Certainly, her brother had practically died in her arms. Her mother abandoned her, but anything was better than being a Jew," shows the difference in lifestyle between the Germans and the Jews during this time. Nowadays, everyone seems to be treated equally in all circumstances compared to the past. But are they really? Think about it. It is definitely still as big as a problem now compared to 155 years ago when slavery ended. Discrimination is a problem many people face on a daily basis. Think about it this way. Remember at the beginning of this year when everyone around us was saying that 2020 was going to be the year? A new decade was starting, and it just felt like a new start and a pathway away from all our previous bad experiences. Little did we know, 2020 was going to be the most traumatic, chaotic year that will be remembered forever throughout history. It first started when the coronavirus outbreak took over the entire world in the beginning of 2020. This virus arose from Wuhan, China in December of 2019, resulting in a very large group of people hating on all Asians. There have been many videos on social media where non-Asians would call Chinese restaurants such as Mandarin and ask if any of their products were from Wuhan, China. A part of you may think that they were just asking to be safe, but sadly, no. They had the most rude tone, and we were asking to basically show the entire world that if their restaurant had any connections to Wuhan, they should be shut down. As an Asian American, I have personally felt discriminated against when out in public during this pandemic. A lot of people would just look at me and my family weirdly, acting like all Asians magically had COVID-19. It was so bad to the point where I felt like I couldn't sneeze in public, or if I did, a whole bunch of people would give me a dirty look and start moving away from me. Even the leader of Canada's most valued neighbor, Donald Trump, has been and is still very rude about this virus. He first calls it the Chinese virus whenever he has public questions from reporters about how the US is going to handle COVID-19. And recently, he has referred COVID-19 as the Kung Flu on the news where everyone can see. It is because of people we look up to who discriminate that result in even more people to look down upon certain groups of people. We as humans who have countless amazing resources in this generation should easily be able to act like Liesl Memminger when she was just a teenager in Germany during the 1940s. Life was hard as a Jew during these times, as Hitler was now the leader of Germany and wanted all Jewish people out of his life. He despised them with all the power he had. Jewish people were forced to go to concentration camps where they were treated absolutely horribly every day. It was just known on all the streets of Germany that you had to hate the Jewish people, or else the Nazis will come get your life. Yet, this living standard did not stop Liesl Memminger from understanding her true feelings of the Nazis. She has had a very difficult life from a young age, as her father was taken away and possibly killed by the Nazis, and she was forced to be separated from her birth mother because of their beliefs of communism. Liesl did not care what the right opinion to have in Germany while Hitler was the leader. This is why her love for her friend Max was so strong. She didn't view Max as a typical Jew, but instead she liked him for his personality and because of their connection together. She's able to keep the secret that Max is hiding in the Huberman's basement from everyone, no matter how important they are to her. Even when she was tempted to spill the secret to the mayor's wife, Ilsa, she left her house instead to protect him. When Max leaves the Hubermans due to possible danger for the family, Liesl still looks for him around town when the Jews walk on Munich Street on their way to Dachau to the concentration camps. Liesl sees many groups of Jews before finding Max, and when she does, she calls and reaches out for him even if it means danger towards her. The guards take her and whip her, but her commitment towards caring for him as an equal person continues. Liesel Meminger is the exact definition of a person who does not discriminate in any way. She is not racist, sexist, ageist, or omnist. She stands up for who and what she cares about, no matter how much trouble it will lead her into. Liesel Meminger once said, "I hate Hitler," on the streets of Woking where anyone could have heard. Saying this phrase out in public was a very dangerous move, to the point where her father Hans Huberman, who also did not like the Nazis, told her to stop right away. "I hate Hitler" is what humans should be saying about discrimination. I hate discrimination. Why should something this horrible even exist? Why is it so hard for everyone to be treated the same way? Adults should try to live the life in the perspective of children. Why, you may ask? Kids view other kids in the exact same way, as a real person. In their point of view, no kid is more superior compared to another kid in the whole world. Have you ever seen that video where there are two kids on the sidewalk, one white and another black, running to each other to give a hug? They don't care about race. All they want to do is reunite as friends. This is how all humans should act towards each other. Now, the overall question is, what can we do in order to help stop discrimination? Here's what I'm going to do to try and end this horrific problem. I'm going to sign as many petitions as I can for people who have suffered due to discrimination. And most importantly, I will try my best at all times to inform others about discrimination. I can definitely do this by posting on all my social media platforms, and also by informing my parents and my grandparents. My parents do not have social media platforms and don't pay a lot of attention to the news. They also still have the mindset of life in the 1990s, to the point where it is a little harder for them to understand certain parts of society now. Telling them about the discrimination going on and having meaningful conversations will open up their eyes about how they should treat and talk about others. No one should be afraid to stand up against discrimination when it was the right thing to do from the beginning. Now please, think, what are you going to do? Even the little things matter. Thank you.